Y'all, the sun is shining like a mug today. It is shining. All that snow, all that rain, all that other stuff, and the sun is finally shining. Yes. And I love natural lighting. The ring lights and stuff. Ooh, I love natural lighting. Anyway, if you are new here, my name is Shaneria. This is Talking Crime. On this channel, we do reaction videos. And we got a reaction video today. Anytime you see me, we got a reaction video. If you are returning, you already know how we get down. We like, we comment, and we share. Let's get straight into today's reaction video.
This story time is about how Ancestry got me fucked up. Ancestry got me fucked up. Okay? I'm telling everybody who is interested in learning their DNA, listen. It's cute to know, your what makes you you, but you're gonna also find out what makes you. Okay. Great information. It's just, you have to be prepared for just any and everything when you do any type of DNA, DNA search. With that being said, let's go. I'm sorry, I got a lot of powder on me. I can't get it off. I'm an esthetician, so I be getting powder on me all the time. But anyway, so story time about my uncle, dad, brother. I forgot to add that one. It's funny because I had before I just tried to make this video, and so I was doing a story time, and I just realized, bitch, I'm 30 minutes in and I ain't even got to the point yet. I'm over here trauma dumping, so obviously I got a lot of shit to say. So that will have to be saved for another day. If y'all want to hear some trauma dumping, let me know. I'm not going to a therapist, so this is the best it's gonna get for me. I do need a therapy, but I don't know, I don't want to cry. Okay, so to say without trauma dumping, I grew up with dad number one. Dad number one raised me, but then I found out later in life that he was not my biological dad. My biological dad, I was told, was another man, dad number two. Dad number two, him and my mom was in a relationship around the time when I was born. But at the time, he had already had a child, and he told her, I don't want no more kids. I already got a child, and yeah, go abort. Well, my mama done seen them abortion videos, and she said, I ain't gonna do it. So he up and left. And so after he left, not too much longer after that, she met dad number one, and he been raising me ever since. So up until a certain point, but he raised me my whole childhood, and that's why I knew who my dad was. And then my cousin came around, and he the one who spilled the beans. We were getting a whooping by dad number, what numbers is one? We had got a whooping by dad number one because he stayed and lived with us for a minute, and he was so mad. So he was like, and that's why he not even your dad. And that's how I found out, because they wasn't gonna tell me. I really feel like they wasn't gonna tell me. So again, I found out, and I'm 9 years old, I think 9 or 10 years old at this time. This is the first time I was told that, the dad who I thought was my dad was not my dad. So yeah, so this is the first time I'm experiencing, okay, this is not my dad, we'll find my dad. So my mama, she went and found my dad. So my mama went and found dad number one, and I don't know how she found him, but because this is before Facebook and all that stuff. But she found him, and he was in jail at this time. But we were able to communicate with a little texting. Oh, I'm sorry, not texting, but a little emailing, a little mailing, that way. And then out of nowhere, it just stopped. And that was last like time I've heard from him, and like after, you know, last time I heard from him until like 10 years later. So between those 10 years, from me being age 9 or 10 until like between like 18, 19, 20, one of those, dad number 1 or 2, the dad that I actually grew up with, that I thought was my dad, he started fucking up, and I started to feel a lot of abandonment and neglectful feelings and issues. And you know, at this time, like, he was just in and out of my life, and it was just a lot going on. And so I really crave my dad. Even though I'm 18, 19, 20, I still crave that presence in my life, because I really wanted that feeling. So I asked my mama again, find my daddy. Okay, so she found him again, and this time he is out of jail. He's out of jail now, and he wants to fucking meet me. So I was so excited to meet him, and we met. But I think I opened up a can of worms a little bit, slightly. It just wasn't exactly. I was used to the dad that I grew up with, and I thought that he would be the same. I don't know why I thought that, but I really thought that he would just easily replace him. I think I just was really uncomfortable. Not that he really did anything directly to me. I just feel like he was in jail for a long time, and I just felt like he had a lot of problems too that he needed to work on. Like he couldn't be my daddy. He couldn't. And then I also had like a major car accident involving a semi. That's another story time too. But I almost lost my fucking life. I don't thank God I'm here. But at that time, like, he was just overbearing at that point, because he just like, I'm her daddy, move out the way, nobody, you know, he was doing a lot of that. And I'm like, I don't even know you. He just came on way too strong, and you know, I wanted again what was familiar for me at that in that moment. You know, I needed people who I knew around me in that moment, and I did not know him like that. And it was just too strong. While getting to know him, he told me how he had daughters, and I've always wanted more siblings, or definitely more, you know, sisters. So I wanted to build a connection with them if I could, and he did not have no good connection with them. So there was like no numbers that I could reach out to, or Facebook so I could try to find, because I don't think they had his last name. So he didn't, and he wasn't like internet savvy, you know. So that left me like, you know, high and dry about me trying to find information about my siblings. So me knowing that I had other siblings is what got me on Ancestry. That's what did it. So I get on Ancestry, and I do what I do, finally get my results, and I have his last name. His last name is Kelly. And I don't see Kelly nowhere near or on my Ancestry. And on Ancestry, they have people ranked. So like they're doing an estimated guess. So like they'll say like aunt or first cut or something like that. Like I have to go look again, but like it was just say might be aunt or something. I don't know. It's ranked though. It's ranked for you. But I didn't see nobody with Kelly, so I'm just like, oh well. I mean, I was thinking that maybe if I found somebody else with the last name Kelly, they can, you know, guide me to who I need to talk to, that so I can get answers answered. But there was no, like I said, there was no Kellys on my on my Ancestry. So I just left it alone, honestly. Like I just, you know, gave up, and just, you know, it just was what it was at that moment. Until I started getting messages from some people trying to figure out who the hell I was, because we were close, you know, we were close in rank. And so like they were trying to figure out who I was, why I'm so close. Looks like this is gonna have to be a part 2, so head over to part 2.
I don't know. Her story getting a little messy. It sound a little messy. Like, mama, what you ain't saying? Because she can't find Kelly.
Part 2. So like I said, I started getting messages from people, and they're like asking me, like, you know, I see you, like, we're really close relation, like, are you a Smith, and trying to figure out, you know, how we are related. Now they're telling me that the grandfather that I'm finding out that I'm related to, he done had 20 something kids throughout the whole neighborhood that they were growing up in. And so they are finding new family members out all the time through Ancestry, and you know, they keep saying like it might be more, and they, you know, they're just trying to figure out like if I'm somebody kid of already, you know, one somebody theirs, or if there's another brother or sister that need to find out about too. But yeah, grandfather was out here, and unfortunately I was not able to meet him, but he was out here populating the whole neighborhood that, you know, everybody grew up in. And so, you know, and it's very important for people to know who their relatives are, especially if they're growing up in the same neighborhood and going to the same schools. Okay, so as I'm hearing this information, the guy again who I, you know, dad number 2, that's who I knew who my dad was. So he's not a Smith, but that's my dad. So if I'm related to y'all, then this must be your brother. If there's 22 of y'all, then the chances are high that this just might be 23rd, okay? Because grandfather was out here. And then at the time when all this was going on, one of my uncles really just like immediately, you know, family, love you, and, you know, embrace me, you know, like couldn't wait to meet me, couldn't, you know, trying to figure out more about me, and, you know, it was trying to, you know, put two together, you know. So like he was saying like, well, my, you know, he told me his dad's name, and he said Walter Roger Smith. He's like, go ask your dad, like, what's his, you know, his dad name, and so we can, you know, like I said, put two together. I didn't really have direct contact with him, so I had my mama reach out to ask him what his name was, and he said Walter Roger Smith. So bam, it was just like, duh, like this y'all brothers. And it wasn't like we told him like, is your dad name Walter Roger Smith? My mama asked him, what was your dad name? He said Walter Roger Smith. Okay, we didn't feed, and there was no information fed. Okay, so I'm telling my uncle like, well, he said his dad name was Walter Roger Smith, but you know, I don't really have a, you know, good connection with him, and like we don't really talk that much. But my mama, she knows him, and then he figured out who my mom was, and he was just like, oh, like I know her, because like they all grew up in the same neighborhood. What is so funny is like where I lived growing up, they stayed right behind us. They literally stayed right behind us, and the biological dads that I thought growing up literally stayed right in front of me. So everybody was in the same neighborhood growing up, literally walking distance and everything. So he like looked up who my mom was, like I said, and like he like, oh yeah, like I know her, and like he said, he like, you know her. Okay, like, you know my mom. And so like we end up getting together, like me getting to meet him, and like I said, like he was just so happy. And like, you know how like I've always been told that I look like my mom, but I just never seen it. I never like, I mean, not that I didn't see it, but like not to the level that people are trying to say. I just felt like there were still features on my face that it didn't make sense. Even when like I looked at my biological dad, I thought we, you know, had like similar bone structures, but it still, I don't know, something was missing. Like as you can see, I got some pretty big ass cheeks. Like they're really big. They're kind of like on the droopier side. Might get some filler. I don't know. No, I'm not. But yeah, like my cheeks are a little fuller, face a little rounder, or I don't know. And then my eyes were like a little more hooded, a little, when I smile, a little more chinky. And so like My mama didn't have this. The dad who I grew up, he had a hooded eyes, and we had the same complexion, but it's still, I don't know. But when Unc rolled around, I said, oh shit, y'all, we definitely family, okay? We definitely family, because I'm starting to see some features that we are sharing, and that's because we're related. You know, we're related, duh. You know, he had eyes and cheeks, and it just felt more like, oh, okay, so I got this from my dad's side of the family that he did not know that he had, because, again, he thought he was the only child. He didn't have no family, didn't know his daddy. You know, he didn't know y'all. He didn't understand. So, like I said, we met, and, you know, me and him, we definitely really clicked. Like, he was just so, like, welcoming, so, like, different than I'm used to. And you know, he kept asking, like, I want to meet my brother, like, he was such a big family man. And you know, like, I was telling him, like here's his information, but, you know, I don't really have a relationship with him like that. You can reach out if you want to, you know, get to know your brother, but, like, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk to him. You can talk to him. I didn't want to. So, as some months go by, like, I'm getting introduced to the Smith side of the family. Like, I'm going to, like, you know, barbecues and, like, you know, the Thanksgivings and New Year's, and, like, growing up with my mom's side of the family, pretty small, and then you get introduced to a new side of the family that you did not even knew existed, and it's 20 something aunts and uncles, and then a million kids, and, you know, it was overwhelming, I would say, a little bit. So with that, I say I did what I normally do, which was back away. I guess I'm starting to notice a pattern when things get too tough or I'll back away. Like, it's just, I'm an introvert. I am an introvert. I will say, if it's too much, I'm going back to what's familiar for me. I'm going back to quiet. I'm going back to being by myself. That's just what keeps me peace and happy. They got a family chat, and it's going off all day. I don't know who they're talking about. I don't know who these people are, and I'm trying to work. Like, I'm an esthetician. I can't pay attention. Like, I'm just lost. I'm lost. It was just, you know, too many names to get to know, too many unfamiliar faces, too many people calling or asking about me, trying to hug me. I don't know, you know, it was just a lot of that, and they were just extremely welcoming. Like, I was not used to that, so many friendly people at the same, you know, I just too many friendly people, just too friendly. I'm not used to that. So I just started to slowly try to back out and, like, creep into my little cubby hole unnoticed, hoping that nobody know that I'm going back, you know, like I said, to my safety zone, until motherfucking New Year's roll around and fuck my shit up even more. So, like I said, they have a group chat. We have a family chat, and there's a cousin chat. So in our family chat, I seen that my uncle had posted, like, someone had came up to him and was saying that he might be the father of their son, and they really wanted him to take a test. And so, like, he, like, was all for it. Like, okay, let's go take this test. And, like, he was showing pictures of this of the possible son, and, you know, there were features about him that, like, okay, like, this might be yours. I was getting happy for him, and then he want to go post this. Stay for part 3.
Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he lay his hat was his home. And if it was the neighborhood, oh, he was alone. I don't know if the ending go like that, but 20 something children. Ain't it funny how you go search for something, but then when you learn it, it becomes overwhelming? Yeah, I understand what she talking about. If it was 20 something kids, imagine how many other children. If he had 20 something, imagine how many kids his kids had. Like, he was just humping. And for all of them to be in the same neighborhood, you know, kids listen to adults. Like, they hear shit. So it's a shock that, like, her daddy number 2, like, he had to be told that man was his daddy. But is he really his child? Like, daddy number 2 need to take a DNA test, because he was told that that man was his daddy for him to bring up that man's name. But is that man really his daddy? Because, you know, back in the day, children knew stuff too. They was all in the business, coming back outside, playing with their friends. You know, your daddy my daddy. Like, where did he get that from? He got it from somebody. But is he that man's 23rd child?
We have made it to part 3. This should be the last one. So again, he went to go post. Getting to know my uncle was the easiest of everybody. Like, he was just so welcoming, and he really, like, embraces everybody. He really is loving. He really is caring. He is, you know, he's just all of that. And I could tell that he was a great dad. And to know or learn that he possibly could, you know, be another dad to, you know, I was happy for him. I was happy for him. And then to see that he wanted to be another, he was hoping for a daughter, or you know, might be wanting a daughter. I was like, oh, I hope you get that daughter. So they decided to do DNA testing, do Ancestry like I did. Okay. So they do their DNA testing, and, you know, I'm carrying on with life as normal, as normal as I know it. Then on the day before New Year's, I get this message. Motherfucking possible, because you ain't never brought up this nigga. You ain't never brought up this nigga. You always said it was daddy number 2. Who and how? What? I've been calling this man uncle for 3 years. For 3 years since I've known him. 3 years I've been calling this man uncle. I've been introducing him to everybody as my uncle. As my uncle. How do I go back and fix this? So everybody is shocked and confused as fuck. But I really feel like my dad, I feel like he knew something. So it was now revealed to me that during the time that my mama was with dad number 2, and like, he was out here cheating. Okay, he was out here cheating, doing him. Yeah, they was together, but, you know, like I said, he was out here. So in one of their breaks, she says that she had met up with my dad. They, you know, they dated or whatever, very briefly. You know, they did what they did, didn't work out, or what, I guess, whatever. And she went back to dad number 2 and, you know, found out that she's pregnant. But she's been with him for, you know, some time now. So she just gonna, I guess she just said she just automatically, you know, just assumed that this was his child. She said in her mind, she didn't ever think that this could ever be a possibility. She said it was one time. But one time is all it fucking takes, as you can see. So now my uncle is my daddy. And I really feel like when he sent that message that first time where he's like, I might have a daughter, I feel like he might have been talking about me at that moment, because I feel like he had a feeling, but he didn't want to say nothing because I kept saying that, you know, my dad is this dad that I thought who I was taught growing up, because that's who I was told. But I think he figure something out, Now here I am, 33, and I'm finally meeting my real daddy. I've met the final boss. And I have to say that this time has been a lot easier when it comes to getting close with my dad. Finding out who my dad really is, I do feel filled. I do feel like a lot of the answers that or a lot of questions that I had, they are finally getting answered. Why I look the way I look is because this nigga face. I don't know if I want to put a picture yet or not, but this nigga face. We have a lot of similarities. Like, he's a barber, I'm an esthetician, so we're both in like the enhancing or beauty field, and we're both self-employed. Like, we just had a lot of similarities. It's been an amazing feeling getting to know him, and we're still getting to know each other on a dad and daughter level now. Again, it's still me. It's not him. It's me that needs to work more on my communication, because he reached out. I love that he reaches out to me. I love that he wants to make sure that I feel included. I love that he's just the way he is. I love that. I wish I got to know him growing up. Now through him, I got 2 extra siblings. I have 2 brothers now, 2 extra brothers. And so I get more siblings. We go out all the time, or I see him out all the time, and we always, immediately, family, that's my daughter. He looked, he told everybody, this my daughter, that's my daughter. That's how he talked. Like, he's just so proud to say I'm his daughter. So, yeah, it's been a good feeling. But back to dad number 2, the dad who I originally thought was my biological dad. So, back up in the story, you remember, we asked him what was his biological dad name. What did he say? Walter Roger Smith. Where the hell did you get that name from then, buddy, if you're not my daddy? Huh? Where did you come up with this name out of nowhere? Not my real biological dad's. That's still his father's name. Y'all all still lived in the same neighborhood. Claim you are an only child and you come from Smiths, and the Walter Smith that everybody else know got 22 something else kids. Nigga, you still might be the 23rd. You might not be my daddy, but you might be the 23rd. So I told my mama to reach out to him and let him know the news, and he said he already knew. He said that he just had a feeling, but he just wanted me to be his daughter at this point so bad. Like, he didn't care. I think he don't want to do with the DNA because that is, like I said, it's a lot, and that's Pandora's box, and you will find some shit. And I think when you go from no siblings to 22 siblings, possibly, like, that will be a lie. Yeah, for me it was too. But I don't think he's ready for that realization that you possibly are my uncle. So yeah, that wraps up my ancestry story time. So if you do it, beware.
OMG. That's what I was asking. Like, where did he get the name from? Like, it had to be told to him when he was little, or, by his mother, or the kids in the neighborhood was talking when he was younger. Like, and he knew that it was all these other children, so he was like, shit, he might be my daddy too. Or something. Like, where did he get that name from? But again, they all stay in the same neighborhood. Like, they all stayed in the same neighborhood, grew up in the same neighborhood. So it's not shocking that the mother got pregnant by somebody else in the neighborhood. But Miss Ma'am, you thought because you was with daddy number 2 for a while that this was going to be his child, knowing that you had messed with another guy when y'all was on a break? Yeah. And you went back to daddy number 2 pregnant, but you didn't know, but you knew you did something with somebody. Why not just go in and get a test done? I don't know. But what I do know is, thank God she found her daddy, and thank God, like, he's opening it up. He's reaching out to her. He's trying to create a bond. Like, you have to get out of that shell, because you have missed so many years so far with your dad and experiences with your dad, you have to now get out of that shell because you are an adult and he's older now. So you have to create the memories in that time. I know it's overwhelming, you know, because like just everything just came at you like this. But if you really want a memories and a relationship with him, get out of your shell. When he reach out, talk to him, go see him, reach back out to him, create as many memories as you can. Mark my words, the time you lost, you will never be able to go back and get those back. But the time you have gained, create as many memories with him as possible. Of course, I'm gonna tell you this, I'm a daddy's girl. Like, if my daddy was still alive, baby, you best to believe, yes, like, you can never get that time back at all. And a great daddy is a wonderful experience. So I'm happy that you found somebody that is willing and wanting to be your dad and not going back and forth to jail and stuff like that, and he really wanted a daughter. Yo, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, join this family by subscribing, because if you reach the end, you definitely like the tea. So let's keep drinking this hot tea. Come back for more by subscribing and join the family. Hit that notification bell for every time I upload. And also, if you are returning, you are subscribed, we here. Yeah, we here. Like, comment, and share this video. I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.